October 10th, 1901. A horse racing track. Grosse Pointe, Michigan. Two cars line up. One driver, Alexander Winton, the best race car driver in America, world famous. The other, a 38-year-old failed businessman named Henry Ford. He's never raced before. Not once. His first company? Bankrupt. He's broke. Desperate. This is his last shot. And he's about to do something insane. This is how Ford Motor Company was really born. 1899. Henry Ford quits his job at Edison Illuminating Company. It was a good job. Chief engineer. Steady paycheck. He walks away from all of it to start the Detroit Automobile Company. His dream? Build cars for everyone. But Ford makes a critical mistake. He's a brilliant engineer, obsessed with mechanics, perfecting the engine. But he ignores marketing, ignores sales, essentially, ignores business entirely. The implication? The cars were too expensive. Almost $125,000 per car in today's money. So in 18 months, they only built 20 vehicles. But they burnt through $86,000, about $2.5 million in today's money. So, January 1901, the company collapses. Bankruptcy. Investors lose everything. Ford's reputation? Destroyed. He's 37 years old. Broke. Back to square one. Most people would quit. But Ford? He tries again. Ford has one idea left. A crazy idea. Car races were huge in 1901. Massive crowds. National publicity. Winners became celebrities overnight. Ford's thinking, if I can win a race, people will take me seriously. Investors will come back. Problem? He's never raced. Ever. Not even recreationally. And his opponent? Alexander Winton, the most famous race car driver in America. Also a successful car manufacturer. Winston was the clear favorite. Ford and two friends, Oliver Barthel and Ed Spider, Huff, start building a race car in secret. They call it Sweepstakes. It's a beast. Two-cylinder engine, 539 cubic inches, 7-inch bore and stroke, 26 horsepower. For context, that's massive for 1901. Ford even invents an early form of fuel injection and hand-made porcelain spark plugs. This car is technologically advanced. But there's a problem. Nobody thinks Ford can drive it. October 10th, 1901. Grosse Pointe Racetrack. Originally a horse racing track. 10-mile race. 1-mile oval. 10 laps. The crowd? Massive. They came to see Winton destroy the unknown challenger. The race promoters were so confident Winton would win. They picked a fancy cut-glass punch bowl as the prize. Something that would look good in Winton's home. The green flag drops. Winton shoots ahead. Experienced. Fast. Dominant. Ford falls behind immediately. 300 yards back. The crowd's already celebrating. This is going exactly as expected. But then, something changes. Ford starts finding his rhythm. Learning. Adapting. Lap by lap, he closes the gap. The crowd starts noticing. By lap 6, Ford has cut Winton's lead in half. Then disaster for Winton. His car starts smoking. Mechanical failure. Engine trouble. Ford's unique fuel injection and porcelain insulators? Designed exactly to prevent this. Lap 8. Ford pulls alongside Winton on the straightaway. The crowd goes insane. Clara Ford, Henry's wife, later describes the scene as the people went wild. She said one man threw his hat up, and when it came down, he stamped on it. And another man had to hit his wife on the head to keep her from losing it. Back to the race. Ford takes the lead. Winton can't recover. Henry Ford, in his first race ever in a car he built from scratch, beats the best driver in America. The unknown engineer just became famous. Overnight, investors come flooding back. This Ford guy might be onto something. 1901, 1 month after the race. The Henry Ford Company is born. Again, new investors, new money, new chance. But here's the problem. Ford wants to build affordable cars for everyone. The investors? They want luxury cars for rich people. So, Ford went back to tinkering, perfecting, refusing to rush. The investors get impatient. They bring in Henry Leland. The idea? Make Henry Leland manage the company. Translation: sideline Henry Ford. Ford realizes what's happening. March 1902. Just months after starting his second company, Ford quits. He takes $900 and the rights to his name. The investors keep the company. Rename it. It becomes Cadillac Motor Company. 2 failed companies. 1 bankruptcy. Investors hate him. He's 39 years old. But Ford meets a coal dealer named Alexander Malcolmson. Malcolmson believes in Ford's vision: cheap, reliable cars for normal people. Problem? They need more investors. So Malcolmson recruits his uncle, John Gray, a bank president. Gray does not want in. Too risky, he said, but Malcolmson promises, you can withdraw your money anytime. So Gray reluctantly agrees. After Gray, other investors joined. First, it was 2 lawyers. Then, a local merchant. The Dodge brothers who make parts also joined. Then James Couzens, who was Malcolmson's clerk. 12 investors total. $28,000 pooled together. $1,000 shares. Each person buys in, but Ford and Malcolmson control 51% together. On June 16, 1903, the Ford Motor Company was officially incorporated, marking Henry Ford's third attempt at building a car company after 2 humiliating failures. The first product, the Model A Ford Mobile, sold its first car on July 15, 1903, and within months the company shocked everyone by becoming profitable. By October, profits were already near $37,000, and investors were paid dividends again and again. Within just over 2 years, many had nearly tripled their original investment. The company that almost never existed was suddenly printing money, proving that Ford's third attempt was finally working. In 1908, Ford introduced the Model T, a simple and affordable car that would completely change how ordinary people moved around the world. By 1913, Henry Ford perfected the moving assembly line, cutting the time to build a car from over 12 hours to barely an hour and a half. In 1914, Ford doubled the industry wage to $5 a day, not just to keep workers, but so that the same people building the cars could actually afford to buy them. By 1920, Ford was producing about half of all the cars in America. And before the Model T was retired in 1927, more than 15 million had been sold. What began with 12 nervous investors and $28,000 had grown into the most powerful car company on earth. But behind this success were 2 bankruptcies, public humiliation, being pushed out of his own company, and walking away from what later became Cadillac. So, in truth, Henry Ford did not build Ford Motor Company through brilliance alone, but through desperation and an insane gamble. If Ford had lost that race, there would have been no investors, no third company, and no Model T to change the world. Thank you for watching.